Hello there. You're Emmy, right? You're the 35-year-old granny with no kids? The same Emmy? Am I right?
Excuse me. Can I ask who this is?
Answer me first. What is this? I'm the one who's asking the question. Nobody answers a question with a question. That's super rude.
Well, you're contacting me. Isn't it respectful first state your name? You seem to know perfectly well who I am, but I have no idea who you are. I know better than to start blabbering about my personal information to some stranger.
Yeah, I get it. You old ladies are all the same. Always belly aching about this or that. I'm Mandy. I'm a college student at Stinson Medical College.
A med student at Stinson? Really? So you're studying to be a doctor, huh?
You got that right. This med student is in the process of going steady with Mark.
Wait, excuse me? Are you aware that Mark is my husband?
Yeah, I'm perfectly aware. But sorry to say, he's got money and he's all mine now.
So that means he's cheating on me. You're having an affair with a married man.
Please stop with the words like cheating or having an affair. Just sounds so vulgar. We're just two innocent people in love. Just because you're jealous, it gives you no right to be so presumptuous.
All I'm doing is verifying the facts, that's all. Anyway, am I correct in assuming that you and my husband are currently in an illicit relationship?
Yep, that's right. Still don't like how you phrased it, but whatever. I'm really sorry about all this, lady.
You seem so nonchalant about all of this. Is this just your character? It's just the kind of person you are, I suppose.
Well, I guess. People do say I have an outgoing personality, if that's what you're asking. Maybe it's just that I'm younger and more energetic.
Pardon me?
I'm 21 now. Just turned 21 a month ago. As young as they come.
21, huh? Okay, what about it?
What I'm trying to say is that, unlike you, I'm not an over-the-hill 35-year-old woman. I'm young and vibrant. I have way more value than you. That's what I'm saying. Can you refute that?
Yes, I suppose you're right. There are plenty of women like me around. But I'm curious. Don't you feel cheap dating a married man? Someone way older than you?
Feel cheap? What are you talking about?
And you do realize that Mark is 36 years old, right? He's 15 years older than you. Seems like an old man by your standards.
An over 30 guy is no way the same as an over 30 woman. Everyone knows that. Mark is what you call a dandy, attractive, middle-aged gentleman.
You describe Mark as dandy? Attractive, middle-aged gentleman? You're not serious.
Why so surprised?
Kind of weird for me to say, but that tired, out-of-shape guy, an attractive, middle-aged gentleman? Are we talking about the same person? I really can't understand what you young people are thinking these days.
I think that's just a jealous old lady talking. You got to get out more instead of knitting or whatever you do at home. Besides, no matter what you say, it's too late. Your husband, the prestigious doctor, told me he wants to marry me, the vibrant and beautiful girl, 15 years his younger.
Wait, did you just say he's a doctor?
You think I didn't know that he makes in excess of $300,000 a year? And his father has his own medical practice. And obviously, He will be taking over that practice after his father. And he lives in that 3-story building with that huge backyard. And 3-car garage, right? He has his clinic out on the 1st floor.
Where the hell did you get all this information?
My grandfather used to go there regularly when he was sick years ago. That's the reason I decided to pursue a career in medicine. Was because my grandpa was so enamored by Mark's father that he wanted me to become a doctor like him. I've always maintained good grades, and I think I have the brains for it. I was just able to get in this med school.
I see, but
To be honest, I don't want to be a doctor. I figured I could just squeak by. Once I get into med school, the guys would clamor for me. Brains and beauty kind of thing. But all that studying, it's getting to be a hassle. There's just so much to learn. That was the mood I was in when I happened to attend one of those matchmaking parties at school. That's where I ran into this dandy doctor with a high annual income. On top of that, he was the son of the doctor that treated my grandfather years ago. I mean, if that's not fate, I don't know what is.
my first thought is, why is a married man attending a matchmaking party?
See? That's what I'm saying. You middle-aged women always nitpick every detail. That's why your husband dropped you.
Mandy, was it? One important thing.
We're really getting off track here. The fact is, Mark and I are in love. So, I would appreciate it if you would just divorce him ASAP.
You two are really being bold here, I have to say. I'm not only talking about you, but also my husband for attending some matchmaking party and seducing a college student.
Seducing, huh? Yeah, well...
I can't very well decide on a divorce over the phone, so I'll contact you later on after I verify it with Mark. Oh yeah, Mandy? There is one thing I must warn you about. I really think you should do a little more research on Mark if I were you.
Pardon me?
I don't know how all this came about, but I think you got your wires crossed somewhere along the way.
What are you talking about, lady?
You go on like this, and you will reap the consequences. Your whole life could be jeopardized. Okay, that's all I have to say. I'll contact you later.
Bye, finally! I never thought you would grant that divorce. I guess it couldn't be helped. I bet you broke down and probably wouldn't throw in the towel to the bitter end, right? That's why it took so friggin' long.
Huh? I was all for it from the very start. Actually, I thought the whole thing was settled pretty quickly given the circumstances. It was total chaos. What with getting his parents and relatives involved in the whole mess, I was so darn relieved that the divorce papers went through.
You sure know how to put a brave face on. As long as the divorce is complete, I don't care about the rest. And about having to pay damages or compensation to you or whatever, Mark will take care of all that when we start our lives with a clean slate. If you even think about getting near him, I'll fetch the police on you right away. Just remember that.
I was just gonna say the same thing to you. I guess you simply ignored my warning. Didn't even bother to check up on Mark. I just hope you two will just disappear from my life for good. That's my only desire.
Seriously? I really can't figure you out. We're on completely different wavelengths. Hey, Emmy. Mandy here. Hey, when are you going to move out of that house? You know that 3-story place Main Street?
Excuse me.
I already terminated my apartment lease. I have to be out of here by the end of the month, which is like tomorrow. I really would like to move in this afternoon. I need to get my stuff over there by the end of the day and start living my dream. a rich wife of a super successful doctor. So I need his ex-wife to pack it up and vacate the premises.
Mandy, I really don't know what you're talking about. It's none of my business whether you marry or not, but shouldn't you give priority to finishing school first?
Like I said before, I have no interest being a doctor. And besides, now that I'm married to a successful doctor, why work, right? So I went ahead and quit school. How do you like that?
Wait, you quit school? I'm sure it wasn't easy to get in. Seems a little reckless, don't you think?
I told you, the whole thing is just one big hassle. My husband brings in more than $300,000 annually. Why work? I'm just fine being a housewife, thank you. I couldn't wait to quit that school. It was getting tiresome.
I see. You really got your wires crossed somewhere. You're headed straight toward disaster. I warned you.
What the hell are you talking about? Keep blabbering about that nonsense. What's up with that? Are you okay out there? Hello? Anybody home? Let's cut the crap. I want you out of there today. Do the vanishing act. If you don't hurry up and get your ass out of there, I won't be able to take my place as the new landlord's wife.
Tell me, Mandy, why would I move out of my own house? This house has been in my family for years.
Excuse me? Your house? Been in the family? What are you blabbering about?
What a hassle. To borrow your words, Mark has already been forcibly returned to his parents' home back east, and so I suppose I'm the one that has to explain all this to you.
What are you talking about? Forcibly returned? Back east? Where back east? What are you talking about?
Let's set one thing straight right off the bat, shall we? The doctor you keep mentioning? That would be me. And the 3-story home and clinic that you're so fond of? That's my father's place. He built and ran that clinic for years. I will be taking over his practice when the time comes.
Wait, no way!
I talked to Mark and his reasoning is this. He said he lived at that house, but he never said he was a doctor.
Then what does he do? What's Mark's job?
He's currently unemployed.
Excuse me? Unemployed?
He worked at a clothing factory over in the next country for several years, but after marrying me, the factory went bankrupt and he left without a job. Ever since then, he's been without gainful employment.
No, I can't be.
After our divorce, he returned to his parents' place, and in order to pay off the debt to me, he's working several jobs.
Come on! You're making this all up! You are making all up, right?
I'm not making it up. If you doubt what I say, ask your grandfather.
Huh? My grandfather.
Yes, you said your grandfather came to our clinic and he was so taken by the treatment he got that he urged you to go to med school. That's what you said, don't you remember? I also remember an old man that used to come here. I'm sure he'll remember me.
This can't be right. Are you serious?
He's probably extremely angry at you for insulting the doctor's family that he's so respected. What's more, you quit med school. I hear your grandfather paid your tuition and your monthly allowance. I don't know the circumstances, but I would be furious.
This is not happening. Emmy, please. I just can't pay this compensation to you. Please. I was receiving a regular allowance from my folks while I was in college. And I've never worked a part-time job in my life. So could you...
I know you were expecting Mark to pay for all of that, but you want to know the truth, Mandy? It's a tough world out there. You better wake up to the fact.
But I had no idea that... I was only trying to...
I suggest you return home. Work things out with your family first.
I can't do that. I really can't. My folks told me to come back, but my grandpa is there too, and I really can't handle him right at the moment.
We talked about this through our lawyer. This is no joke, Mandy. It's not about you simply getting a slap on the wrist. Can't you get that through your pretty little head?
But what am I supposed to do?
You're gonna pay that compensation. The amount we agreed on through our lawyer, your folks agreed on it too. So, pull up your socks, grit your teeth, and bear it.
I just don't have that kind of money.
If you have any other comments, please refer to my lawyer.
I'm completely broke. What do you want from me?
Goodbye, Mandy. She mistook my husband for a doctor and stole him away from me. I really don't mind that part, to be honest. As a matter of fact, I was contemplating divorce for years. I tried to warn her, but she was so obsessed with being a rich doctor's wife that she would not listen. She was so infatuated with being a rich wife, she even quit school for God's sake. She had the brains to get into med school. Such a waste. I suppose being smart doesn't automatically mean a person has common sense. I heard that her grandfather paid for the damages on her behalf, but he's making her pay every cent back along with the tuition that he paid so far. He apparently introduced her to a live-in job as a cleaning lady for some rich family. She said she never worked a day in her life, so I can imagine how tough it will be on her. But maybe it's the perfect medicine for her. She's still young, and I hate to admit it, smart. She'll get through it somehow.
Hey, Anna. I'm actually stunned. I can't believe you don't even pay your living expenses to your parents. How can you live without shame? What? Even though you're 35 years old now, you're still single, living at your parents' house. If I were you, I'd collapse from misery. I may be a miserable single 35-year-old living at my parents' house, but I do pay money to my parents. Instead of paying a fixed amount for my living expenses, I gave them a family credit card for them to use freely. But you deactivated that credit card. Your father gave me a call saying, you finally stopped paying even for the living expenses. What? He said, maybe I failed at parenting. He was crying very frustratedly. I feel sorry for your parents. It's a misunderstanding. I didn't deactivate it. They just spent it up to the limit. I lowered the spending limit to $5,000 per month starting this month. My parents have already maxed it out, and that's why they can't use it anymore. Don't lie to me. That kind of false accusation won't work on me. Huh? You couldn't pay your credit card bill anyway, right? I can't believe you can't even pay your credit card bill. You must have been fired from your company. Fired from my company? I don't know how that came up all of a sudden. That's because you're a miserable and embarrassing single lady. What? Anna, you were working in an apparel industry, weren't you? Yes, I'm a store representative. It's a pity that you got fired after you got promoted to that position. But it can't be helped. No one wants to buy clothes from a 35-year-old woman. The brand image will be damaged, so there's no choice but to fire you. Huh? Why don't you just get married already? Since your brother is already ahead of you, you have to hurry. But even if you wanted to get married, you're an old single lady living at her parents' house, plus jobless now. marriage has become even more difficult for you.
Hey, Millie. What do you think you're saying without confirming the truth?
What?
Assuming that I've been fired? And why is being married such a big deal?
Isn't it natural? Single women in their mid-30s are people at the bottom.
The bottom?
I got married in my 20s, which makes me a winner. Right now, I'm living a glamorous life overseas with Zach, who's assigned to an overseas branch.
I see you on social media all the time. I see you're living a very luxurious life.
Thanks to Zach's outstanding performance. I hope you can learn from him. And for the sake of your parents, find a new job as soon as possible. Even though you're in the bottom, they haven't abandoned you and are letting you live with them.
How dare you talk about me like that? Just because your credit card has been stopped? You treat me like a lousy daughter who doesn't pay her living expenses. Millie made fun of me again because of that.
It's true that you haven't been paying your living expenses, right? I told you that you had to pay for your own living expenses if you were going to live at our house. And yet, you broke that promise. Go get rid of the credit card limit now.
You've got to be kidding me. I have no idea how much you'll spend if I remove the limit. How much do you think you spent last month alone?
How am I supposed to know that? Your mother and I never look at the price when we're shopping.
Please, it's time you got in the habit of looking at prices. You spent $20,000 last month.
Oh, that's nothing. Your mother and I once spent $100,000 in a month.
That was when your company was in its heyday. But that company has already gone under. Now you and Mom are both unemployed and have no savings. So you better get a grip on your financial senses soon.
What are you talking about, you stupid daughter? My company hasn't gone under yet. We've just been deceived and robbed, that's all.
What?
It's natural for a company to have fluctuations in sales. And yet, the bank stopped financing us just because our sales dropped a little. At a time like that, another company in the same business offered to help. That's why I signed the papers. I didn't expect the whole company to be taken over by them.
Hey, calm down. They said it was a merger proposal. It's an absorption type merger. They said they'd hire all the employees of our company. They offered us a lot of good deals, so we should be grateful.
You've gotta be kidding me. Why is my company the one being absorbed? I thought I could make it big by absorbing their company.
There's no way a falling company can absorb another company. Why did you make that assumption?
Shut up, you stupid girl. You're a heartless girl who won't even cry when her precious family's company disappears. All you had to do was bring in a rich man as our son-in-law. Then, we could have rebuilt the company and wouldn't have lost it. It's your fault too that it came to this, you know.
Huh?
I'll definitely get my company back someday. Even if my eldest daughter is useless, I still have my son and his wife. I heard they're coming back from overseas soon. I'm sure Zach will reclaim the company for me.
What? Zach and his wife are coming back? I didn't hear that from Millie earlier.
Apparently, his overseas assignment is coming to an end soon. I'm sure they'll take that opportunity to leave and take over my company.
There's no more company for him to take over. It was absorbed and disappeared. It's time you accepted reality.
Shut up, you useless daughter. Don't talk back to your parents when you have nothing to offer them. Just go get rid of that credit card limit. We can't even afford to go shopping without satisfaction. This life is so wrong.
Anna, I guess it's about time you saw the empty room.
I just got home from a trip with my friends and was looking at it. What the hell is this? Why is my stuff cleanly gone?
It means there's no place for you in that house anymore, Anna. So please, just leave. We're moving in there this afternoon. So please make sure you're gone by then.
Wait a minute. What do you mean you guys are moving in? What about Zach's job? You just recently came back to the US, right?
He resigned from his job upon his return, and he finally decided to take over his parents' company.
What? Our parents' company?
His original plan was to take over his family's company all along. That's why he worked for a major company and gained experience. He even got to the point where he was put in charge of overseas assignments. And at last, he will become the CEO of the company. I'm going to be the wife of the CEO.
That means... Seems my parents are behind the disappearance of my belongings.
Yeah, your parents got rid of your stuff. When I told them we wanted to move in together when taking over the company, they were very happy. They said they'd rather live with their son and his wife than with their daughter, who's still single at a good age.
No wonder they were so excited to see me off on my trip. Normally, they'd have insisted that I take them with me. I thought it was weird that they didn't ask for souvenirs or anything.
You don't even pay for your own living expenses. You're unemployed since you got fired from your job. So, how did you afford to go on a trip like that? Don't you realize that you're a miserable, single, jobless old woman?
Huh?
Well, you will realize it sooner or later, even if you don't want to. You will be kicked out of your parents' house, and you will start living a lonely, single life. A life without jobs, money, and men is just too painful to imagine. But it's a life that would suit you very well, Anna. A single, jobless sister-in-law like you should get out of here. From today on, your parents' house and company belong to your brother and his wife.
That's very helpful. Thank you.
Huh?
I never thought the day would come when I'd be saved by your misunderstandings. Once again, thank you for giving me this chance. I can't believe I can finally get out of this hell. I'm really happy.
Huh? Why are you happy? Anna, you just got kicked out of your house by your own parents. And you're happy? Are you out of your mind? You've been given a comfortable life, and yet you call it hell? You don't even have a heart to thank your parents, do you?
How can I thank them? They still can't accept the fact that their company went under, and they're using up my money on lavish shoppings. Do you have any idea how hard I work to live with them?
What? Their company went under?
Their sense of money is as crazy as ever. I'm sure that's why they spent $20,000 using my credit card. I can't tell you how much my family's finances have tortured me over the years. If I wasn't such a talented sales manager, I'd be bankrupt.
Wait a minute. What the hell was that all about? It can't be true that the company went under.
I knew it. They didn't tell you anything, did they? I'm sorry, but my family's company went under a long time ago. There's nothing for Zach to take over anymore.
What?
What do you think, Anna? You must have been surprised to find it empty when you came back. I've sold all your stuff. I'm going to have you leave so you won't be single any longer.
Huh?
If we force you to live alone, you'll meet more people. And maybe you'll find someone to marry. You're making your parents worry, even at a good age. Unlike your brother, you have no filial piety.
Don't talk so high and mighty. You just want to get rid of me to live with your son and his wife. Millie told me you're going to live with Zach and his wife from now on.
Oh, so you knew. Good. That's why you have to leave now. From now on, we'll live in elegant retirement with our son and his wife.
Elegant life with Zach and his wife?
He was in a major company. He makes more money than you. He must have a lot of money saved up. He'll give us a credit card with no limit. And with what he's done so far, he'll take my company back in no time. What a brilliant son I have.
Yes, he's a brilliant son who has your blood running deep in his veins. He's just as scatterbrained and debt-ridden as you are. He can't give you a credit card because he can't even make one.
What? What do you mean he's in debt? And he can't make a credit card?
Zach and his wife were so excited living abroad that they spent too much. That's why they have a lot of debt. They don't have any credit cards now, and they can't even make one.
What? What will happen to our lives then? How are we supposed to do our shopping from now on?
Maybe he'll cut into his savings and give you a certain amount of money. Or maybe you won't get any allowances.
Huh?
You all can talk and figure out what to do. I'm leaving, so it's none of my business. Well then, I hope you have fun living together.
I can't live with them anymore. Help me, Anna.
Oh dear, what's wrong? It hasn't even been a month since you started living together.
But I can't do it anymore. Your parents were furious when we told them about our financial situation. They said if we can't pay our living expenses, we have to do all the chores. They started to force me to do all the housework and started fooling me.
Wow. They're taking it out on you because they can't have the luxuries they've dreamed of. I'm so ashamed of them, even though they are my parents.
But we are also victims of being tricked. We came here thinking there would be a company to take over. Then, we found out that the company was actually merged with another company, and I can't become the wife of the CEO. But when I pointed this out to them, they got even angrier and went on a rampage. They told me that I had no right to speak up.
I'm sorry you're going through so much already, but I'm sure you'll get along just fine with each other. Just try a little harder.
I can't. Please, let me escape to your place, Anna.
What? To my place?
I thought you had just been fired from your company. But actually, I was wrong. I heard that you are still working hard at the apparel company. In fact, I heard you got a big promotion and your annual salary has increased.
Where did that information come from? Well, the promotion and the increase in income are true.
So, is it true that you're living in a luxury townhouse? I heard you moved to a nice townhouse.
Yeah, I took the plunge and bought a brand new townhouse. My parents spent a lot of my money, so I'm taking out a 35-year loan with no down payment. But with my current income, I think I can afford it.
Please, let us live in that house for a while. We somehow want to get out of this house. We'll leave as soon as we get our lives back on track. So please, tell me your address.
Absolutely not.
What?
You know, I'm a 35-year-old woman who used to live with my parents. I want to enjoy my single life a little more.
Oh.
And it's not like I've given up on marriage either. I can't bring in a nice guy if my brother and his wife are around.
Well, if that happens, just let us know and we'll leave. And I apologize for everything I've said. So please, help us.
I'm sorry. I'm a woman in the bottom. I don't have a generous heart. I'm not going to help someone who's made fun of me so much.
Oh no.
Don't worry. My brother is a brilliant man. Maybe he really can rebuild the family business. In fact, He may even start his own company and succeed. Then, good luck with taking care of my brother and parents. Zach went to work for the company that absorbed our parents' company. However, he had to start as an ordinary employee. He can do his job reasonably well and is achieving results. However, compared to his previous job at a major company, his salary is half of what it used to be, and his motivation is still sluggish. Moreover, the employees who used to work for his parents' company don't have a good impression of him, saying, "Is he the son of that selfish CEO?" Millie and my parents finally decided to work part-time to make ends meet. I hope this will be a good opportunity for everyone to get back to a proper sense of finances. Well, it's none of my business anymore. I'll enjoy my elegant single life in a townhouse with a glass of wine and slices of prosciutto in my hand.